Hey, this is actually coffee and not tea. But it can be tea if you want it to be. Listen, I am just coming on here because I'm about sick and tired of people just talking about COVID in the way that they're talking about it. And I'm asking myself, are we not supposed to talk about like what it really is? Are we supposed to constantly flow with the cover up of what it is so that people can just continue covering up until ... There's no goal or end game or date with transitioning into getting back to life. So that's what's frustrating because I understand for those who have developed their lives or have set up their lives to live outside of the pandemic, it's different. For those who have to live in the space of where it's actually quote unquote happening, different. So you're going to have different perspectives. And when I share things, it's basically me sharing or contributing in a way to where I would prefer to live my reality, right? So it's really for me, and for those who resonate with that, we connect, and that's just how we do. So really quickly, because I'm not going to spend too much time on this, I just want to at least create a ripple in the middle of 5. I want to create a ripple from the center. And actually just put something out there, since everyone else is just putting shit out there. Why not me? So what I'm saying is, here it is. It's just a mass hypnosis, guys. Nobody is getting physically sick from COVID. It's mental. Now, duh, right? No. You guys are not understanding. Mass hypnosis, a different kind of or level of sleep that the majority of people are under collectively. Now, there are some of us who are able to still remain just have some sort of lucidity within the mass hypnosis, but it still affects us. So that again feels like limbo in being awake when you're supposed to be asleep. It's kind of like going under the knife and not the anesthesia not working. So that's like, whoa, wait a second, I can feel everything that's happening, and I can see as well. So hopefully you know what you're doing, surgeon. So the thing is, we have transmitters and we have receptors, especially when we're talking about the subconscious space. This level of mass hypnosis is actually in the unconscious space. It's basically like the movie Inception, but in a space to where it's at the very last level, at the bottom. It's at the bottom of the subconscious or unconscious mind within itself. Kind of like when you saw that scene in the movie where the dude was just old down there. He was just old. It was about 100 years later down at the bottom, but when he reawakened at the surface of the dream, he was back to his original age. So in recognizing that, most people are at the bottom, and they're at the bottom of the ocean. Their receptors are wide open, and they're receiving every single thing. So what people are doing is they're catching other people's feelings. They're catching other people's emotions. They're catching other people's experiences. So these are transferable. How do you live in a world where your receptors within your subconscious in the unconscious space is wide open? How do you navigate through that? So if I'm reading something and you're just telling me how you feel, I'm clearly reading it in first person, and now my receptors without my awareness is basically saying, now this is how I feel. So you just transferred all of your stuff to me. So I might go about my day. If you told me or sent me a message and said, I feel shitty today, and I read that and I read it as is, I feel shitty today, I'm going to start feeling shitty because you feel shitty. And then there's like some kind of connectivity that binds some sort of like connection to that like transfer, to where now when that person is feeling whatever they're feeling, you're feeling the same thing. So when we're collectively experiencing this on a mass level, it's a problem. It's a problem because not everybody can handle people's stuff. Some people are strong. Some people are just like, listen, I've been through the paint. I've been through the pain. I've dealt with a lot of things that most people have not been able to. So my empathetic abilities are very, very like highly, had to transition for a second. So basically my empathetic levels of high tolerance may be different from the next. So I am able to tolerate certain things or certain things that are transferred over, and I'm able to clear it within myself. Not many people are. So the thing about that, on top of that, is not necessarily just the contagious effect of transferring your emotions and your experiences over to someone else just because the subconscious mind is wide open. Most people's crowns are not capped. Then you're dealing with time. You're dealing with the Saturn alien energy that is coming in, that is basically dumping all of the records into the space, and the space is closed in. So it's kind of like a container. So it's supposedly not enough space, somehow overpopulated. So in an overpopulated space of consciousness that is constantly receiving, you're using the records of time of people's past, and you're dumping it back into, so it's like pouring lead into water. So when we think of Saturn, we're thinking about lead, right? We're thinking about time, we're thinking about records. It's also associated with just authority, just whatever that is, right? So you're bringing that in. There's authority in that because it's kind of like you're doing time. When you're doing time, you're in prison. When you say, I'm doing time, you're caught up in the webs of your own past, meaning that the waves of everything that you've ever been through, even including your ancestors, you are now replaying through the confines of time within itself. So right now you have people locked into time in a space that is limited, overpopulated, receptors wide open, and everyone is just transferring data in person and online. And it's just whoever survives this shit survives it. So on top of that, the constant advertising of what this supposedly is also dumped on top of what it really is. So now you think that you're getting physical symptoms when you're not. You're actually getting the physical symptoms because now you believe. So the hypnosis is, if I tell you to bark like a dog and you're under deep hypnosis, you're going to bark like a dog because you're actually going to think that you're one. So it's the same thing with this whole thing. So it's not really what it is. So I'm ready for the world to open back up. They're bringing up this whole other variant. It's because it's just more time being dumped into the space. So if, let's just say, I can feel and sense the layers of time just within my own personal experiences. So if I'm going through, if I'm going through the layers of what I've experienced, things that I even am somehow being punished for things that I've already been forgiven for, right? Even in situations with other people, those traumas are still coming back up today as new, as if I just made that decision or if I just did that bad thing. Like time is still punishing individuals for things that individual has moved on from. So again, that feels like being locked into experiences and not being able to move on into something new. New space, no time, beginning or re-beginning of time itself. So time is basically being recycled. The lead is being dumped in the fucking water. The rain is fucking like just polluted with fucking records of experiences. And some people know how to filter through it and some people don't. So I'm just at this point where I'm sick and tired of the lies that are constantly being expressed. And on top of that, people being so afraid to just simply express themselves because they know somehow, even intuitively, that if they express their full truth, that the other person might catch the truth and might not be able to handle, quite literally handle their truth. So you're supposed to keep your mouth shut, which is why you wear the mask. It's just a representation, subconscious hypnosis, and saying shut your fucking mouth. Don't express how you really feel for an undetermined amount of time. And we're just supposed to sit here and accept that. So there's just that. People are sick and tired of this shit. You know, bringing in another variant and having people think that it's even more deadly, and now freaking people out even more. And then back when the world was opening up and now it's closing back up again. It's just not natural. It's not a natural fucking way to reset a space, to reset the consciousness. And then to pour in new programming that does not benefit the space at all. Not giving a fuck what people even think about their own reality. So when they tell you, hey, you're the creator of your own reality, you know you can change it. You can change it? Really? But not when I'm being bombarded with old shit. Not when I'm being bombarded with lead in my fucking water, which means that it's in the blood and in my fucking inner waters. How the fuck am I supposed to escape that constant wave of interacting with the energy that surrounds me? Really? I'm supposed to like overcome that shit and be the creator of my reality in a space that is filled up to the top? Where most people feel like they're drowning in their past experiences and their emotions that they can't express, because if they do, it fucking amplifies. So if I'm having a bad day, I literally have to stay away from people that I love that may need to, like, we need to be human and interact in this way, but we can't, because then it's going to just magnify those fucking shitty feelings in the space and we're both going to be upset. So what you have is, you have social media, the temporary outlet where people are just, you know, they're performing, they're putting out ads for how happy they are. You don't see anybody's other side. I don't even see it from my perspective. It's just like, oh, everybody's showing their highlights. Hey, I'm a great person. Hey, I'm fun. I have friends. I'm going out today. This is what I'm wearing. But it's on like a whole other level. It's like on some straight psychosis shit, to where it's just like nobody's being completely real because it's actually not allowed. We're not allowed to be real. We're allowed to be halfway of what can be shown in the light, because whatever is lunar is supposed to be kept on the inside because it's ran by time. So I guess the challenge for this particular world and reality that we live in, I guess the challenge is, how can you transfer out of the prison and turn it into recreational living? And that's the challenge, and this is going to be the challenge for a lot of people for the next decade or two. Can you break out of prison? Can you break out of time? Can you make a deal without making a deal? Can you just say, hey, see what this is. I think there needs to be more of us to expand the space so that people can actually fucking breathe and create, so that we're not just sitting in a world that is dormant and fucked up because people are just not people anymore. People's heads are wide the fuck open. Like, you think people got like heads on? They don't. They don't have on heads. They're walking bodies with open receptors. So, if this is a part of the systematics, cool. But what I'm saying is, for those who are able to receive this message, because not everybody, it's kind of like a dog whistle. You know, when you whistle and no one can hear it, but the dog can. It's kind of like that. So people are not going to hear this shit anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter. You could be a whistleblower, but nobody's going to hear that shit because they're not programmed to. So I'm not worried about whistleblowing, or I'm not worried about like ratting out whatever the fuck it is. It just is what it is, and most of us are just like, fuck, let's get this shit over with. You got your pain, I got mine too. Are we scared of it? Or can we fucking express it and create some dope shit out of it? So I am tired of this stupid ass COVID shit that is not fucking real. For those of you who just know, okay, and this resonates, just switch the channels in your mind. Get out of the hypnosis, at least come up a few levels. And just get more so in the dream. And like just navigate through, but we gotta find each other as dreamers so that we can continue to change the fucking space. This may be my psychosis speaking, but I'm all good because I have nothing to lose. So anyway, if you'd like to join the Dream Code series, to where I am going into the actual techniques of getting out of this fucking hypnosis, so that we can at least populate the world with our consciousness, as we have the opportunity to do so, you can click the link in the bio or the description wherever this is posted, and you can join us for the month of August. Registration is going to be closed in September, and we're going on until the new year. Okay, so we're including art, we're including expression. You got some dark shit, fucking express it. I'm not afraid of it. Don't be afraid of your own shit. Let's drink that fucking lead and filter that shit out. Okay, I got it out. Did I just dump lead in the water? Possibly. You can take it. I'll see you later.